Hey you guys, welcome back to the Wisconsin Live Desk Time Check for you. It is 1:30 on your Monday afternoon, and it's going to be a good Monday because we are being joined by Tim Van Vooren, who is going to be on the road, if you're not already on the road, to Indianapolis. Where are you so far, Tim?
We are in Indianapolis. We're parked right across from Lucas Oil Stadium and the Convention Center, Haley. So all good to go here coming up for the NFL Scouting Combine this week.
That's right. You will be reporting from Indianapolis for us this week as that gets underway. Obviously, I think the NFL Combine should be like a reality show. I think it's so entertaining to watch these players kind of show up, show out, try to get the attention of some teams. For any of our viewers who have maybe never seen or heard of the Combine, kind of set the scene as what will be happening in Indianapolis this week.
It's actually a very interesting week, Haley. I really enjoy it, to be frank with you, because you've got dignitaries and decision makers from every NFL team here this week. And you have theoretically, the 300 best NFL draft prospects here this week as well. Obviously, they're nervous. They're auditioning, they're interviewing, they're going through medical testing, they're going through interviews with the teams. The teams are excited. They want to get their eyes on these players. They want to talk to them. Is this someone they want to draft to make an investment in for the next 4 years at millions and millions and millions of dollars? So it's a very interesting period, no question about it. I like that the NFL players, the NFL coaches and general managers aren't going to lose a game this weekend, Haley. They're all in a good mood because the stakes are much different than when you're running into these guys on game weekend and they're wondering how their game plan is going to hold up against, a great pass rusher or a terrific quarterback. So it's a very interesting week. It's a productive week as well. Like Brian Gutekunst, the Packers general manager, takes this very seriously. He made his bones in the league as a scout. He enjoys being a scout. If there's a workout session for offensive lineman coming up at 9 in the morning, Brian Gutekunst is going to be there about 8:20, and he's going to have his seat and he's going to be ready to go, Haley. He takes this very seriously, and I know he enjoys it as well.
I think there might be some people watching who think, the teams already know who they're going to want to draft and when. Like, what's the purpose of the Combine? How much do you think decisions are truly made on how athletes perform this week in Indianapolis?
I think it factors in, let's put it that way. There is a lot of tape, a lot of information on these players from the past. So the Packers, for instance, every NFL team, they employ a lot of scouts who go to games during the college season, who go into college facilities during the week and meet with the coaches and meet with these players during the college regular season. So they certainly do have a foundational base on just about every player here at the Combine. By the same token, now that you have so much transferring in college football, it's not the same as it used to be for these scouts who would go to Oklahoma. They'd have a relationship with the coaches. They'd talk to this coach and he'd say, hey, in 2 years, watch for this guy. He's going to be a good player. Well, in 2 years now, that player's going to be long gone. He could have transferred somewhere else. So there's much more immediacy in this era of college football, which means that the Combine is very important because this may be a more personal connection that the teams get to have with these players than they would in the current current college regular season because guys move around so much.
Obviously, Green Bay doesn't have a first-round pick, at least not yet. I guess you never know about what deals they might try and make. So I feel like they're probably looking more for that kind of middle-round value with the Combine. What are some of the holes that we have in the roster that we need to really keep our eye out for this week?
Yeah, great question. And I think Packer fans are right there with you, Haley. A lot of them are going to say cornerback is the number one need. So the Packers could look at a cornerback. Other fans are going to say offensive line. How could you not have more depth and more starting caliber players on the offensive line? So they're saying offensive line. Other people would say defensive tackle. Boy, the Packers were exposed up the middle when Devontae Wyatt got hurt and missed the bulk of the last part of the season. So maybe the Packers are looking at defensive tackle. Maybe the Packers will spring a surprise. I don't think they're going to take a wide receiver right off the bat, but they may have a player graded higher after they come out of this Combine than you would think, even though it's a position where maybe they have some talent. So their draft is going to be different this year without a first-round draft choice, which, of course, they had traded for Micah Parsons. They'll take Micah Parsons in that deal. No question, Haley, they feel that was a wonderful trade, but their approach is going to be the same. Brian Gutekunst has stressed that. We're going to approach it the same way we normally do. We just don't have that top-of-the-round pick, as you said, at least right now.
I know you were talking earlier about the Packers GM, how serious he takes this week, how much he gets into the scouting. Obviously, he will speak to the media tomorrow. So do you want to give us a sneak peek? You got any questions for him that you're going to be throwing out? tomorrow?
Yeah, throw him out now. I'm sure he's watching right now, Haley. I don't want him to get, tipped off as
That's
to what
right.
the questions are going to be, because undoubtedly he is locked onto the live desk this afternoon. So I can just say, as I said last night on our air, there's a lot going on with the Packers right now, because you can look to the past about this past season and what they're trying to correct. You can look to the future about what they're trying to do this week at the draft combine and maybe what they're looking into. And how about the present? They don't have a special teams coordinator with the departure of Rich Bisaccia. That is a big gaping hole right now at this time of year on the NFL calendar. So we can talk about that as well. I'm sure he will get into all those subjects. We'll put him on the spot about players who are under contract and what the plans may be for Rashawn Gary, for instance, a player like that, and Elton Jenkins. Are those guys familiar Packer names going to be on this roster next year or not? I wouldn't expect Brian Gutekunst to tip his hand, but every now and then, when you take as many questions as he does in a situation like this at the combine, something does come out. There have definitely been situations in the past where I think he revealed more than he wanted to with some of his answers. So I think he's a good communicator, but you get a lot of questions. You're prepared on your answer for a lot of them in a position like Brian Gutekunst. Sometimes you get a surprise curveball and your answer is very honest and very frank. So, it's a great give and take. We look forward to that coming up tomorrow here in Indy.
Okay, so final question for you, TVV, and it's an important one. The Combine has several different tests at play. There's like the 40-yard dash. There's the, I don't know what it's called, but you prove how tall you can jump. You hit the thing. Have you ever participated in any of these? Have you tried your own hand at the kind of Combine activities?
I have not done the physical testing. Haley, I did take the Wonderlic test. You're familiar with the Wonderlic test, which has been distributed to players at the Combine for many years. They do a few different mental things now, but 50-question test. And the headquarters for the Wonderlic company is in suburban Chicago. So one year I called up and we went over there. Charlie Wonderlic, would you believe it, of all things, is in charge of the Wonderlic company, or he was when we went there. So I went in and took the test on camera. And I would not have been a first-round draft choice based on my results, Haley. That's all I can tell you. And if you throw in the physical test, if I actually did, I don't think I'd be an undrafted free agent either.
Oh, my goodness. Wait, I'm going to have to go look that up and see if I can find this clip of you taking the test. That's so fun.
I would say it was the stress and the pressure of the camera in my face that affected my score.
Right. Do players normally have a camera in their face, or is that one done?
No, I think so. I think these days there's probably a webcam monitoring to make sure,
Less
everything
now.
comes off and is, there's integrity in the whole process. And the Wonderlic test isn't quite as in vogue as it used to be because, people think maybe there's a bias in the testing process, et cetera. So I can make up any excuse under the sun, Haley. I didn't test out at the top of the charts. I'll say that.
Okay.
But it was a good experience to go through. And, I will be talking to some of these guys. You're always asking about, well, what kind of tests did they give you? What kind of questions did they ask you? How you doing? That sort of thing. So if we talk, and I think we'll talk maybe a couple times this week, Haley. If we do, I'll update you along the way here in Indy.
I love that. I was going to say, tell me what we can expect from you this week, because I know you were saying all morning long in Wake Up, no shortage of content from you.
No shortage of content. Yeah, we'd like to think that's true. 300 NFL draft prospects are here, Haley. They're the 300 best players. You can ask them about their football, but you can ask them, most of them have a backstory as well. The couple of former Badgers, a couple of guys who transferred away from the Wisconsin program. Guys have incredible personal stories. This is a wonderful opportunity for them to be at this stage and basically auditioning for their future. So they have a lot to say, and we'll try to, bring across some of those stories. And to be honest with you, I don't believe Mike McCarthy is here with the Steelers. Some of these new coaches do not come because they're trying to get so much together with their new staffs and everything else. Right. But for instance, Jeff Hafley of the Dolphins is here. John Eric Sullivan, the new general manager of the Dolphins. Those guys obviously were with the Packers last year. Ben Johnson is here just for you, Haley. Maybe I'll try to do a handshake with Ben Johnson. You just don't know, but there are a lot of stories and potential stories here in Indianapolis.
We are looking forward to getting a check-in with you throughout the week. We appreciate this first update that you've made it to Indianapolis, and we'll keep our eye out for the rest of the stories to come. But thanks for taking a few minutes to chat here, TVV.
Yeah, we'll talk to you this week. Sounds great. There's Mickey Leach, our sports photojournalist.
Hello. Very talented man right there. Too talented.
No question about it. He would pass every test set out here this week.
Yeah, I want to see him do the jump one.
Okay, well, I think our camera's cutting off, but if that happens later, we'll have it all for you.
It's a plan.
No
Thanks so
written.
much, you guys. Of course, TVV, they're reporting from Indianapolis.